Twisters, the standalone sequel to the original Twister movie from back in the 90s, has taken the box office by storm. Okay, pretty bad joke, but nonetheless, it is destroying it at the box office right now. It is sitting at $133 million worldwide, which is extremely impressive. And honestly, I'm not that surprised. Disaster movies normally do pretty well. And why? Well, because people like to see destruction. They like to see carnage. That's why people are very intrigued by car accidents and things of that nature. So, not surprised. And on top of that, one thing I will say about this movie is it's fun. Just to kind of give you a quick heads up, I'm going to keep it as non-spoiler as possible for the very beginning. Then towards the end, I'll get into some spoilers. I'll let you know ahead of time in case you haven't seen it yet and you still intend to go see it. So overall, I had a blast with this movie, but it was exactly what the thumbnail and the title of this movie says. It's stupid fun. There are moments in this movie that are absolutely stupid. You're just like, what are you talking about? Why did that happen, right? You're kind of just yelling at the screen, kind of like, what? Like, what are you doing, right? But it's a blast. The characters are fine. Like I said, there's no real messaging being crammed down your neck or anything like that. Nothing about global warming. It's just about a retired tornado chaser who gets back into the game, and you see why at the beginning of the movie why she decided to retire. Now, I am a fan of the original movie Twister from the 90s, and I thought that this was going to be some form of direct tie-in to that movie, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, so if it is, I apologize, but this is not a direct tie-in. It originally was going to be when they started thinking about this movie years ago, but they decided to not go that route, even though we'll have some callbacks to it, which is very confusing to me, and I'll explain that in the spoilers, because the only way I can explain it is by throwing some spoilers out there. But overall, I had a really fun time watching this movie, and where I went to see this movie, it was packed. There were a ton of people that came out to watch this, and everybody had a good time. One thing about Twisters that I was worried about were the effects. I'm a big practical effect person. If you've been following this channel for a while and watched my other reviews, you know that I'm all about practical effects. And I know that you're not going to see that many practical effects in these types of movies. Hell, even in the original movie, you had CGI, right? Remember, everyone knows the famous flying cow going past the screen while they were in the truck, right? Well, the CGI that they use in this movie was really well done. It was beautifully done, and I was very impressed by the visual effects of this. So they absolutely used some real footage from some tornadoes or the clouds forming and whatnot, you could tell. But overall, like I said, it's a very well done film in that nature. The plot's not a very strong plot, okay? This is not an Oscar-worthy film in any way, shape, or form, so don't think it's going to be that strong of a story. You probably already know what it's about based off just the trailers. It's pretty easy to understand, but and you could probably guess, as most people did while watching the movie, how it was going to turn out. But overall, if you're looking to get out of the house and go to the theater and just see a fun disaster-type movie, then I can definitely recommend you go check this out. So this part of the review, I am going to be diving into a little bit of the spoilers, so you have now been warned. So overall, like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I was upset, though, that this is a standalone sequel and does not have a tie-in to the original movie, Twister. I was really hoping that they paid some type of homage to Bill Paxton. I really thought, too, like, Helen Hunt was going to appear or something like that. The main character in this, Kate, she can sense the tornadoes just within her. So I automatically thought, like, this has got to be his daughter or something. And looking into this, that was the original idea of this movie before it was made, but they chose not to do that. Now, another thing that was mind-blowing to me that they had a callback from Twister is the very opening scene when Kate is with that original group. They had the Dorothy Doppler machine from the first one. And they reference, hey, like, this is 20 years old, man. You got to be careful with it. They never explain where they got it from. Just, oh, we just have it. They could have thrown one line of dialogue or two lines into where it came from, where they got it from, something. But no, they just have it, and they're going to be utilizing it in their tornado chasing experiment. Now, the difference of this movie compared to the first one, Kate and her current boyfriend are working on this concoction of sand and whatever elements and chemicals that they want to put in the tornado so that hopefully when it gets into the atmosphere, it stops the tornado in its tracks. That's the point, right? So that's actually a pretty good idea. I thought that was neat and interesting and something different compared to the first one. Another little nod and callback that they did have is, again, this is very minor, just something I picked up on, is Bill Paxton in the original one. He drove a red Dodge. The cowboy character, the YouTube guy that shows up later in the movie, he drives this big Dodge Ram pickup truck as well. So the stupid parts, though, the things that made this movie kind of like, what? And there were people sitting next to me that were the same freaking way. So there was, like, for example, one scene of this movie where they were chasing the tornado, right? And it just destroys this one town. So they're racing to it, right, to see if they can help provide any aid to the civilians and whatnot. While they're standing there, there's a cop car that's driving through, and you can see it's starting to get dark. And they get on their little PA system, and they say, "Attention, everyone. We will be enforcing a curfew at this time, so please start working on evacuating the area." And everyone around me laughed at that and was like, "What? What the f*** is this a joke? This city just got destroyed by a tornado. Like, it looks like Hiroshima. Buildings are gone or in pieces, right? So, and people are walking around the rubble either trying to find loved ones or picking through their life. It's like, where do you want them to go? Like, their homes are gone. What are you talking about? Like, it made zero sense whatsoever. I think everybody goes into watching a movie like this knowing that it's not the strongest plot in the world, right? You're going for the carnage. As long as you have a simple, easy plot, just like this, Twisters, I would even say that the 90s version had a stronger story and less things where you're, like, laughing at. I mean, there's a couple scenes in there that are, like, ridiculous, but this one definitely had some more of those scenes where you're just like, well, that's stupid. That makes no sense. One thing I will admit that was pretty cool, like I said, with the cowboy YouTuber guy, I thought it was a really neat idea that, he's doing this for views and everything, and he's driving directly into these tornadoes. And when I first saw that, I was like, well, how is he not getting just, like, thrown, thousands of feet into the air? And then they show you is that he's got these two kind of drills attached to the truck that go into the ground, and basically you could see it pulls the suspension and everything of the truck into the ground. So I thought that was a neat idea. Movies like this and today, you don't really see that much anymore. Like I said, it was just fun. Yes, stupid and non-thinking fun. You're not getting lectured. You're not getting messaging pounded into your head. It was just an enjoyable movie. It definitely reminded me of a movie from the 90s, but current day. And that, I think, is what people miss so much and why this movie is just doing so well. People enjoy simplicity. It's about escapism. It's about just watching a movie, getting away from the normal day-to-day, and 2 hours of your life to not focus on bills and expenses and all that other stuff. So Twisters was fun. Again, very, very stupid sometimes. Couple dumb things. You're just like, what? But overall, I had a good time enjoying it. Like I said, if you have the money and you want to go out and go to the theater, see it in IMAX or something on the big screen, because, yeah, some of the scenes with the tornadoes destroying stuff was impressive. Very beautifully done. The sound, very well done. And, yeah, it was a good time. So if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Always love to hear your all's thoughts. I greatly appreciate you checking out the video. And until next time, take care.